Jacquelyn, we're back. It is round 2 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. We've got a guest. We're going to introduce
Special guest.
We're going to introduce our hat trick here in just a little bit. But before we get there, how did we do in round 1?
Well, we did all right in round 1. I have to say we were both over 50%. So in round 1, for the Jets versus Blues, you had picked the Blues, I picked the Jets. So I won that matchup. The next matchup we both got wrong. So the Stars-Avs matchup, we both picked the Avs, and the Stars, lucky for me here in the Dallas area, the Dallas Stars won. So I was happy that they would have been my heart pick, but I went against them and they prevailed. So we were both wrong on that one. Knights and Wild, we both picked correctly and picked the Knights, and Oilers, LA Kings, we both picked correctly on the Oilers. So that's how we fared on the Western front. So on the Eastern side, I had picked the Leafs, you had picked the Sens, so I won that matchup. We both picked Florida correctly on the Eastern side against Tampa Bay, so we were all very happy that the Lightning went out in round 1. We both picked the Caps correctly over the Habs, so that was good. Or for those of you who are in Rio Linda and not hockey fans, that means the Canadiens. Fun fact, the reason they call them the Habs is it's short for French, or they call them the Habs. So if anybody didn't know that, fun hockey fact. And then we both correctly picked the Canes over the New Jersey Devils. So I was 7 for 8 at an 87.5% rate, and you were 5 for 8, 62.5% in round 1.
All right. Fortunately, my team's not in the playoffs. And actually, my team now has the number 1 draft pick next year. We won the lottery with a 3.5%.
When you're that bad, you get the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Well, when you give up an all-star game, I guess you win the number 1 pick, which makes it really funny that happened that way and highlights all the conspiracy theory type stuff around it. Yep. So great first round. We had 2 game 7s, which was cool to see. We had 1 game 7 that went into a second overtime.
That was crazy.
That should not have even gone into that overtime. It was just, was insane. And we are on to the next already. So let's introduce Constantine. Constantine, how are you doing?
Yeah, let's introduce Constantine. But did you see the fun thing that happened that was announced today as Utah finally revealed their actual hocky team name as the Mammoth?
Yes. I don't even consider them a hockey team. They stole that team from Phoenix. They have no interest. I don't pay attention to them. I don't talk about them.
This was a more fun announcement than the freaking Seattle Kraken, which I loathe. So, anyway,
why do you loathe them? Why do you loathe the Kraken?
You know what it was? It was the way they announced the team name and the logo. It was so over the top. Like it was like some bad branding person got a hold of the announcement and made it really like very weird. But anyway, let's introduce Constantine Johns, our dear friend and awesome special guest. Sorry.
Thank you, guys. Happy to be here. I feel honored to be in such great company, but more importantly, to talk about a sport that we all love very dearly.
So why do you love this sport?
Oh man, I grew up, Mike, watching hockey with my family. I was born in Philadelphia, Irish State, but grew up in Colorado. I remember going to Avs games during the Patrick Roy, Joe Sakic, Milan Hajduk, Ray Bourque era. Have signed sticks, have pictures, then holding the cup back from 95, 96, 2001. Like, I mean, that was what I grew up with, watching all the time. And so it's stuck through, and it's funny. My family, we've always made our own bracket, and we send around a little plastic Stanley Cup for whoever makes best stick for that season. It's just fun little things, but I think hockey, hands down, and again, I'll take all the slack for it, but is best sport. I think that playoff hockey is hands down the best entertainment I've never seen. Yes, you could say that any playoff, people fight hard, all that stuff, but I got so much money and so much skin on the game in what our hockey players do.
I love that. It's true. Playoff hockey, there's nothing like playoff hockey. It is, especially round 1. There's multiple games every day. There's always something going on. It's like now we start to mourn the fact that there's not, multiple games every day and you're switching between channels trying to figure out what's going on. It's kind of, it's fun. I have to say, I love your story. It resonated. I mean, some of those players you mentioned were just legends, absolute legends.
Huge.
Mike and I are both a little bit older than you are. For me, hockey was just part of my childhood on a little, fuzzy TV with like 5 or 6 channels. My team is the Blackhawks, and of course they were no good. They did not have a childhood filled with the dynasty of the Blackhawks. That was later in life for me. But I just remember watching it, and I think we had one of those little games with the little hockey men. We actually purchased one of those for my husband and myself.
Bubble hockey, right?
Yeah,
They call it
yeah.
bubble hockey. Yeah.
Bubble hockey. We didn't have a bubble over it, but we had the thing, and my players were. It was the Blackhawks and Flyers, because
There
we
you go.
did beat the Flyers in 2010, which was super fun.
I remember one.
But yeah, no, I can't get my family to do the bracket thing. I'm very impressed by that. Michael,
I've
the
got a family
Islanders,
member.
the Islanders. Ooh,
I've got
leave
a
that out.
family member now who likes to remind everybody in our family that he is a Division I athlete and he is not allowed to participate in these kind of bracket things, which I think is just a bullshit take from his perspective, and an opportunity.
It's
to
illegal
give us
for
all shit
Andrew to do
being
that because
being
he's a
the Division
D1
I athlete.
My daughter
So-
was a D1 athlete. She
It's
had
not
no
the cop
problem.
out. Not the
It's,
cop out.
hey, NCAA stuff. So
My daughter and my son-in-law, same thing. Yeah, that's funny.
So it's an awesome sport. I remember how much fun it was to be
Have
able
you
to
shared your
just.
team?
I'm
with-
telling
with-
another
in
story
Con-
right
in
now. Like,
Constantine
why are we?
Oh, you don't want to own up to it. Sorry. Go ahead.
So okay,
I'll mute
Constantine, who is your team now?
My team, the Colorado Avalanche. which
Colorado. So the Avs.
heartbreak after this game 7. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit.
So
later.
then on Jacquelyn's side, the Hawks, and now I will get back to my story that I was telling, because remember, this is my freaking podcast. So anyhow, yeah, that's exactly it. And you should see the nonverbal. So make sure you watch the video, because there's good stuff for watching the video. And we're having fun as we go through it. I remember when the lake would freeze over and we'd be able to go out and play on the pond. And that was the way to do it. And I remember then, and that was when I lived in New Jersey. And then when we moved out to California, I stopped playing any kind of hockey and then started playing football. I'll still skate from time to time. Some of my best memories are being up in Michigan and being either in a canal or on a lake and skating, and just being able to skate for ever. And I am very fortunate that I grew up out on Long Island in the 80s. I was born in 74, so that ages me. And my team is the New York Islanders. And we've gone through ups and downs, and we now have the number 1 draft pick. I think in trade for losing an all-star game, which is kind of funny that both of those things happened right around the same time, which will feed into the conspiracy theory type stuff and how these drafts are fixed, which I firmly believe they are all fixed, including that freaking bullshit from a couple of years ago where you guys picked up the guard. We're sharing our feelings, so I'm going to share my direct feelings. Yeah, that's exactly right. Thank you. So I am Beaker, and me. So here's the thing that I was fortunate to be in the arena to see 3 cups lifted, and that was a really cool thing. And
That's amazing.
It's so they're my team. They've always been my team. I've kind of gone. They've had some problems. They've gone through some ups and downs.
But did they ever hire John Tortorella as a coach?
No,
that would be
Tortorella's
be their ultimate shame.
No. And who's
Jacquelyn hates
who's the coach? Wasn't the coach for the Hawks the ultimate shame guy? Like, do you really want to go to ultimate shame? Like, didn't you guys had a bunch of stuff happen inside your team?
No.
Are you talking about Quenneville?
Quenneville's a legend.
Legend.
I lied about
which one are you talking about?
It's all lies.
It's all lies. Okay, so anybody want to fact check
Conspiracy theories?
Anybody want to fact check what happens inside organizations periodically across this game? You can go through and do that stuff. But let's get back to the fun stuff. So
Yes.
we got second round in front of us.
Very
Got some
exciting.
really good teams in the second round. So Jacquelyn, why don't you lead us through our picks?
Let's
And
do it.
everything starts over. So you don't have to stick with the same picks that you had in the first round. And when we do this in the third round, we'll do the same kind of thing.
Yep.
Constantine, if you don't get bored with us, like Constantine might bail after, you might be one and done.
I feel like I need to share my first round, how I fared though.
Oh, yes.
You know what?
Yes. Did you have a first round? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
And I did all right. I mean, I was, I think, right in between, I guess, right with Jacquelyn. You said you were 7 for 8?
7 for 8. Yep.
You were 7 for 8. Okay, so I was 6 for 8.
Not bad.
Obviously,
Where'd you go right and where'd you go wrong?
So the ones that went wrong, obviously my abs had the heartbreak. That game 7 was fucking insane to me. I mean, to be up 2-0 going into the third, and then fucking Mikko Rantanen, who has played 10 seasons with the Avs, scores a hat trick. Like I was pissed. I bet
you were.
And
the machine.
I've watched the videos, and obviously was seeing the camaraderie between Rantanen and Landy and the rest of the team. I mean, they are brothers, like love each other to death. But I'm like, of all people, of all games, and like Dallas has our number. Like we cannot fucking get past them, and it pisses me off. Because I do think that we are a better team, but like we haven't got past the first round in the past 4 seasons, and I'm like, this just fucking sucks. So I went wrong there. Did not get my abs. And then I think I made 2 different brackets. My family bracket, I had chose Blues, but then my other bracket, I chose the Jets. And I do believe it, the Jets. That, to your point, Jacquelyn, that game 7 was one of the best that I had ever seen. Like, so what, it was like a minute 30 left in regulation, 2 goals back, 7 into overtime. Laurie's goal in the overtime was just phenomenal.
I think the tying goal was, there was only like a couple of seconds left.
Yeah. So the time, they were still down 2, so they had to score 2 goals. So I think it was 30 that they were down 2, and then they scored with like 8 seconds left, sent it into overtime. I think that the Jets, like their whiteouts at the games, is one of the coolest environments that I've seen. So I really want to go to a Jets game. So, those are where I went wrong.
I need to have a little bit of fun. Number one, how the fuck can you have 2 brackets? Like, what is 2 brackets? So that's one. So, first off, Constantine, it's been awesome having you on this. Well, I might kick you out. Like,
shot fired.
Going forward, we will have
one bracket. It was I messed up because I made my like family one and I forgot what choices I made. I thought I made all the same choices, and then like I went on to NHL.com and made my official submission bracket. And I guess I thought that I chose the Blues instead of the Jets, so that's everything else was the same. I fucked up on that one.
So the second one, and
we get one mistake here.
One mistake.
One mistake.
I've got a good friend who's a big Jets fan, and we give him shit in a group text around this for a couple of different things. One, I'm a Jets fan on the football side, not a Jets fan on the hockey side of things. Now I'm a Hellebuck fan, and I think he did awesome.
Incredible goal.
And it was rough to see the way we lost in that tournament. Anyhow, Tim is one of those fans who, when the Jets are doing well, he's really vocal. When the Jets are not doing well, he goes into his hole and just kind of and
he doesn't take criticism well.
And everybody gives him a hard time. So the thing I was giving him a hard time on when he was talking about how great the whiteout is, I said, all I see is a bunch of St. Louis Blues fans out there cheering on their team because they're wearing the same color as their team is on the ice. So the whiteout back in the day, when home teams would wear white jerseys or white sweaters, that whiteout thing was really cool. Nowadays, it just looks like you're cheering for the away team. So I hope I would love to see this thing happen. So Gary Bettman, if you're listening to this, or anybody else who has any kind of influence, please bring back white home sweaters. Bring them back. So anyway, but the whiteout's amazing. When we used to do that, when Winnipeg moved to Phoenix, and that was the Coyotes. So the Winnipeg became the Coyotes way back when Winnipeg made that move, we started doing a whiteout out here and ran into some of the same challenges about getting out of the first round of the playoffs. So that's another reason I like to give Tim grief. And that was going to be poetic to watch. I wanted to see both the Leafs fall apart, and I wanted to see, I wanted to see the Maple Leafs fall apart, and I wanted to see the Jets fall apart.
Neither
and it was
did.
So close.
So close.
So wait, Winnipeg became the Coyotes, or
Yeah,
that was
Winnipeg moved down here. So so think about it.
Then
back
they
when
got another team later. Is that how that worked?
Yeah, so Winnipeg came down here, kind of like Quebec went to
the Colorado.
Right.
So
Became
and
that,
everyone,
yeah.
and it's kind of cool that now some of them are doing throwback jerseys back to those things.
I love the throwback jerseys.
Like
I
the
do not
Whalers.
want to see that freaking team up in Utah that you guys mentioned before, where the Desert Dogs on there, they don't know.
They won't.
gave
But I can't believe that they went with the Mammoth. That to me is still, of all the names that they had on the list,
Hot off the presses a few hours ago, gentlemen.
I
They-
missed that one.
when they first started talking about the different names, they didn't go through and realize that certain people had trademarks on other names. Like they wanted to be the Yeti. I think Yeti was the first one.
I like Yeti.
And
I did too.
you know, unfortunately, there's this company out there. Oh, stop on. Look, we all got their cuss around
We
them.
all have them.
Yeah, we're not walking. We're not
Here's what the
influencers
story
or soccer
said.
moms. We do not have Stanley Cups. We have.
Here's what the press release said: is Mammoth was the fans' clear favorite in the final round of voting, according to the team. The name, deliberately singular and all for one spirit, honors an animal that lived in Utah during the last ice age about 10,000 years ago. The primary logo, called the Mountain Mammoth, includes the snow-capped Wasatch Mountains on the crown, the outline of the state of Utah, and one of the peaks and tusks curving up to form a U. The rallying cry is "Tusks Up." Again, more marketing.
Tusks. Oh,
Tusks Up.
interesting.
And if you believe some of the stuff that's happening with some of the genetic engineering, I guess we're getting close to having woolly mammoths,
We might.
dire wolves. So
AI
that's
will
not
just
what
print
this
them.
podcast is about.
We'll 3D print them. Anyway, yeah.
So
Okay. So
All right.
so your picks, you got 6 of 8. Okay, got it. All right.
Second round is now where the match happens.
All right. So we ready to go?
all right, so
Hit
I'm
us.
going into this. I'm going into this in last place.
So we'll go with we'll start with the West as we have before. And so in the Jets Stars matchup, although my heart would like to pick my hometown Dallas Stars, I will have to go with the Jets because I think they are unstoppable at this point. Should be a good matchup. I think it'll be a good goalie matchup in my estimation. So I'm going to go with the Jets in that matchup. How about you, Mike, sorry. Scratch that. Mike.
I hit that out. Jeez.
I'm not editing it out. It just demonstrates
It's
to me
not-
that
I
just
love that name. It was my brother's name. I called him that out of endearment. It is not meant to be bad. I apologize deeply. I will not call you that again, Mike. Mike,
It's
what do
okay,
you say?
sis. It's okay, sis. I am actually looking for my picks to make sure I've got them. So I'm going to go to Constantine.
All right.
Okay,
I'm
Constantine.
locked in. I'm right there with Jacquelyn. Probably because of my heartbreak, but also because I'm just more of a Jets fan than I am a Dallas fan. But I agree. I think it could be an awesome matchup. But I am Jets through and through on this one.
I think it'll be a long series too. I think we should get some free hockey out of this 6 or 7 games.
All right.
What do you think, Mike?
I have to correct this. I will do it before we wrap up because I'm waiting for everything to connect up. But I believe that I went with the Jets as well, primarily because I think Hellebuck overcame some demons between the first and second period in Game 7, and he looked like a dude possessed.
He was like a machine.
He was
game.
playing. He played very well after letting up 2 goals, and that was cool to see. And once you go through that kind of shift, that transition, that kind of growth, perch through the resilience, it can be the catalyst or the thing that kind of switches things on and help you go all the way through. I did. I picked the Jets in round 2.
Awesome. All right. I love it. We're all unanimously like-minded there. Okay. So all 3 of us picked the Jets. All right. How about Knights Oilers? I'm going with my heart here. I'm going for my boy Leon Draisaitl and the Oilers.
There we go. It's this one's tough. I went with Oilers as well, but this is going to be an insane matchup. I really do. Like I love this series. I mean, I think that obviously last night was a tall tale indicator of that it's a hard fought battle. I mean, Edmonton edging it out. Like I watched the first two periods. I was like, all right, Knights are dominating.
Yeah.
And then Oilers came back to win 4-2 last night. I'm like, holy shit. I mean,
Pretty amazing.
Draisaitl, McDavid. I mean, the firepower that team has is unstoppable. Honestly, I was a little bit shaky watching them versus the Kings in round one. But I
They
think
seemed rusty.
they did look rusty. They found their stride, but also even last night, I felt the same way with Knights. That first round, I was like, okay, like let's see what's gonna happen. Dunn scored a goal last night. Like he's starting to get his mojo back, but I think it's also going to come down to a goalie matchup. I mean, I was skeptical. Pickard used to be on the Colorado Avalanche, so I'm very well aware of him, his skills. Benching Skinner, having Pickard in there, I was like, okay, what's going to happen? I'm excited for this series. I'm Oilers. Put me down for the Oilers.
What about you, Mike?
I am what I have recently come to, and still I might change it at some point in time, but recently come to my new West Coast team, the Las Vegas Knights. So I
know I'm not
I got a West Coast team. My other team abandoned
I hate
me.
the Knights. I hate them.
And actually, I'm gonna, to be honest, that influenced my decision.
Because I hate them so much?
Yes.
Yeah. I hate them almost as much as I hate the Anaheim Ducks.
Ducks don't even care anymore. They're not even in it.
I just hate them.
That was the one that I almost went back to just because the Ducks went into the pond after I left Southern California after I graduated high school. And you
look like a California person.
Yeah. So I don't know how to, is that a good thing or bad thing? Like, how should I take that?
Who knows?
So
So
there you go.
Who can remember?
So just so you know, we're now sworn enemies.
Wow. That's cold. That's cold.
And I've got
Over
that
Vegas?
I've got that
Over
series.
Vegas?
I have that series only going 5 games. Now
Really?
I did not expect
Wow.
Edmonton to win last night. I thought early on, I was like, all right, here we go.
That's a ballsy pick. So you think the Knights are going to win 4 straight?
Hey, I'm keeping with my original picks. I did not modify anything based on what I've seen now over the last couple of games. And in hindsight, I probably would have modified some things. Like I would say that the series is going to go a little bit longer, but I've got that Winnipeg Dallas series. I've got going 7 games. I think that goes 7 games.
Interesting.
And really, I think one of the things that can get in the way of Winnipeg is if for whatever reason Dallas decides to move the game to St. Louis. Like if that happens, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
But how is that going to happen?
Errors, whatever, anything could happen. It does not look like
We'd
Winnipeg
like to
knows.
play in St. Louis.
Winnipeg does not know how to play in St. Louis. So I've got 7 in that first series, and then 5 in the Knights Oilers.
That's interesting. I have my I don't know where my game I have it in I have the Jets series 6 games, and I have the Oilers Knights going 7.
Cool.
All right. Okay. Sworn enemies now. Gosh, we went from brother and sister to sworn enemies. This is
hey, brother and sisters can still be sworn enemies. Deep dish sucks.
I don't think so.
Deep dish. Now we're throwing shade. Shit, Mike.
It's the hockey chant that the Islanders cheer when the Blackhawks are in town. They scream "Deep dish sucks." That's the chant.
So
it's
funny.
Hilarious. Yeah, deep dish pizza is the best pizza. All right. So now we're going to the eastern side of the country / continent here, right? Because Canada is part of it. Let's face it, we got 3 Canadian teams in.
We fucking have Canadian teams. Yeah, welcome back to hockey, gents.
Welcome back to Hockey Canada, right? Hockey night in Canada. It's hockey night around the world. Let's go. Yeah. So So our boy Joe Banerjee, I'm going with him. The Leafs over the Panthers. And I have that going 7 games. But I'm rooting for the underdog here. I'm rooting for the Leafs to make it past the Panthers, and I think they can do it.
I would love to believe that. I don't think they have it. I mean, from what I've seen and where they've choked in previous seasons, I mean, I would be happy if they did. But I have to go with what I believe, and I just think that
Panthers.
Florida is a stronger team. Game one, I was surprised. Game one, I was surprised at how hard, how strong the Leafs came out. And I'm glad that they won game one. I think they're in for a rude awakening tonight. And I think Florida's going to bounce back pretty hard.
They're going to hit the wall that is Matthew Tkachuk.
That guy's a fucking beast.
Another series about I'd only go in 5 games.
Yeah.
And I went with the Panthers.
All right, there we go.
I knew that you were going to go with the Panthers because you love them. You love / hate them.
I think, I do. I think they're a fraud. Like, it's just
why are Florida teams good teams? Like, I don't fucking get it.
I mean, you think about it, like what they've done from a GM perspective. Who's the GM in Florida? I don't even know. I don't know who, but I mean, get Marchand down there.
I love him.
So what do you guys think
when he was
What'd you guys think about the Bennett elbow on the goaltender? Like, what?
I think he should have been, taken out of game. I was watching the video again last night. It's clearly, I don't know how you dispute that. And that's just my opinion.
I didn't see it, so.
You got to watch the video.
I'll watch it. I'll watch the
video. You got to watch the video. I mean, he's coming back.
Like, it's just back of his head, like on his temple. I'm like, dude.
That's not cool if it happened. I don't ever like that kind of behavior. To me, that's just bullshit.
Well, he likes to throw the elbow around. I mean, didn't he break Marchand's jaw last year? Wasn't that
probably?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did that. I think he did that in the Panthers.
Well, Brad Marchand and like Ryan Kessler have punchable faces. Like, you just want to punch them.
Yeah, but what do you think that's the thing that caused the concussion, or do you think it was taking the puck to the head?
Puck to the head. I think it was that. If it happened, I don't think that's causing a concussion.
That's part of the debate that's out there right now. Is like, did he actually get concussed just before that when he took the puck to the head? I don't know.
Not fun. I don't like that behavior. The mom's coming out in me. That's not okay.
Yeah, I don't like stupid behavior like that. It also what irritated me about Domi scoring one of the overtime goals in the Leafs Sens series. I don't think the Leafs have it. Domi's one of those players where you like to have him on your team. You don't want him to be on the other team. And there's always players like that are out there. I think the Leafs are frauds. So, well, and now they're gonna be in trouble from a goaltending perspective. I think, because I don't know.
You think the Leafs and the Panthers are both frauds?
I think the Leafs are frauds. I don't think the Panthers are frauds.
Got it.
The Panthers
misunderstood.
The Panthers went out there and won a cup. Like, it's hard to be a fraud and win a cup. The Leafs just got out of the first round and had to win 2 overtime games or 3 overtime games.
I think it was 2.
So, like, I mean,
all right. Well, we have diverged here. So we were all on the Jets train. Mike's the only one on the Knights train, and now we got Constantine and Mike picking the Panthers, and Jacquelyn sticking with the Leafs. Okay. All right. Last matchup: Caps and Canes. I'm going with Ovi. I'm going with the Caps in 7.
Damn. I'm right there with Ovi as well. I mean, I've lived in DC, went to many games. I think they're both 2 incredible teams.
Yeah.
I think that I agree with Jacquelyn. I think that one goes 7. Last night, Caps played like shit. I'll be completely honest. I think they
deserve to lose. They lost to overtime.
Absolutely deserve to lose. Like, I was shocked at how we were winning. I think that the shots on goal was like 33-12. I'm like, yeah, you guys absolutely deserve to lose.
Yeah. That was crazy.
They did not play well. They deserved to lose that one. And then get the wake up call. I think they come back. I'm Caps for sure, but that's gonna be till game 7 for sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
I'm Caps,
Yeah.
but I'm doing it in game 6. I said that'll go 6 games, and I saw a stat last night, or heard a stat last night. Didn't go back and look to see if it was real or not, but they said that the Canes attempted 94 shots.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, they were talking about how the Caps were just blocking everything, like bodies laying out everywhere. I heard the same.
That's crazy.
94
attempted shots.
attempts.
God.
You just throw the puck at the
And they
the-
only
at the
scored
goal.
2 goals.
And then,
Well,
yeah, I don't
well,
know if that
and only got a third of them.
I mean,
And a third of them on, right? So
Yeah.
I think if it was 38 shots, so just a little bit over a third on net.
That's pretty
But
amazing.
wow, that's insane. I
That could be the big upset of my bracket, is the Canes could take it. Yeah.
believe in the power behind Ovi and the year and what all is happening out there. So that's why I think things are gonna come around. I also have no love lost for the Canes, because the Canes buzzsaw that the Islanders ran into multiple times, and so
Buzzsaw.
when,
Their logo
once you
looks
get
like a
once you get to the
buzzsaw.
point where a team is dead to me, the team's dead to me. I have extreme heart and bias issues when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's why what Jacquelyn was talking a little bit earlier about. What were you talking about? You were talking about the original hockey teams.
Original 6?
No, you weren't even saying the original 6. You were talking about how you made some comment and you listed out the Hawks and a couple of other teams. And I was like, when are you actually going to list a real hockey team?
what the hell? You know,
All I know is your team was not in the original 6. So
They were not. 1972.
I will
And
say that was one of the biggest surprises to me. It's this Stanley Cup playoff seed.
no original 6.
How many?
Except for the Leafs.
No,
Just the Leafs.
yeah,
Just the
Leafs. Well, what about Habs? Habs are
the Canadians and the
original?
Leafs. They were the only two. Yeah, they're the only 2 Canadian teams that made it into the playoffs. It's only 2 original 6.
But
There's
like
Rangers,
this-
Boston, Chicago.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I mean, I am glad to see Canadian teams make it back into hockey.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
They're fun. They're fun. I mean, I really loved last season, Vancouver and the Oilers. That was fucking awesome. I loved that show.
I'm telling you though, I was heartbroken in the final last year because I thought my boy
Oilers,
Draisaitl was gonna get the cup. I was so sad.
Agreed.
I was like on the verge of buying a Draisaitl jersey, like a really cool, like old school one. I even have it picked out.
What do you like about him, Jacquelyn?
I just love him for the sheer fact that he sits on a team with Connor McDavid, or as Mike likes to call him, McJesus. And like, dude's like literally the second highest goal scorer in the entire freaking league. And he just doesn't even care that he's outshone by his teammate.
Yeah.
They just play so well together. And he in a lot of ways, he reminds me a bit of Gretzky in the
Sure.
way that he plays. My first professional game I ever saw was at the old Chicago Stadium. And it was Gretzky's, I believe, first road game as an LA King, which was wild, or one of the first.
That's cool.
When he was in like one of those purple jerseys. It was pretty wild. But that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, this round is going to be a good one for sure. I'm excited for it. I did pull up stats to your point. 33 block shots, Caps last night. 33.
I mean, when you got a team that's laying it out there and doing that kind of stuff, that's good. They got to figure out a way to get things going on the offensive side of things. Like that's, and so we'll see what happens. So Jacquelyn, do you want to run us through again everybody's picks and just do one quick around the horn?
You got it. So in the Jets Stars matchup, we have all picked the Jets to win that series. For the most part, we've picked it to run a bit longer, like 6 to 7 games there. On the Knights Oilers, Mike has chosen the Vegas Golden Knights, and Constantine and I have chosen the Edmonton Oilers. I think we all agreed that would run. Constantine and I agreed that would go 7 games. You say 5. And then on the Western Front, I've got the Leafs in 7, and you guys both picked the Florida Panthers. So Constantine and Mike picked the Panthers. I believe long series there as well, either 6 or 7 games. We all agreed there. And then on Caps Canes, we all picked the Washington Capitals to win, and I do believe it'll take them 7 games to get past the buzzsaw that are the Carolina Hurricanes.
So when you see this, let us know your picks. Let us know where we got wrong. Let us know where heart had gotten over brain, and we let emotion play over logic. And,
You don't ever do that, Mike.
Oh,
It's all emotion, baby.
it is.
That's all it is.
In this, it's all emotion. In some other stuff, it ends up being way too much logic. So
Well, and I personally, for any Utah Mammoth fans listening, I applaud your logo pick and your name. I think it's cool.
We'll see how they show up. They show up.
I don't.
Aren't you glad we went to that game at Mullet Arena last year?
So
I remember you guys
Constantine, one of the
talking
things, one of the things I'd offer to everybody, only Jacquelyn took me up on, is if you've got a team, if you like the sport, if you love hockey, come out when your team is playing at Mullet, and we'll figure out a way to get into the arena. And that is an experience that is, I don't think you can replicate. There's
What
And
is
now
it?
it's now the
Figure
chance
out
to
a
do
way
it's
to
gone.
get to the arena. Are you guys like climbing up and hopping?
No,
down?
we went to the game.
We're
No, we went to the game.
We're gonna figure out a way to get into the arena.
And that one,
That
because
ship
of
has sailed,
Bedard,
'cause we can't go
because
anymore.
because of Bedard and because of so many Chicago transplants that are out here, that was one of those games that was just crazy. It just got crazy expensive, and that was one of the hard things about having games at Mullet is you could only bring in 4,700 people into a game to watch, and the highest level in the arena is K, and there's a bunch of standing room only places to stand and watch the game, and that's what Jacquelyn and I did. And when we went to, my family and I went to both of the Islander games that were played out there each year, and it was an amazing experience. And it's unfortunate that the NHL and the team weren't able to figure out how to make that kind of stuff work. I believe there are a lot of political things involved there with the whole thing. They made more money, or what I've heard is they made more money playing at Mullet than they did when they played out in
Glendale, right?
Yeah, because ticket prices were so high. And so anyway, somebody can fact check me on that stuff. I didn't realize how hard it was going to hit me to see the Coyotes abandon Phoenix, but it did. And I think that the way that a lot of that stuff was handled was just crap. And I'll be really excited when they come back and build a team out here, because they are going to build a team out here. That will happen. And they'll build it the right way. They'll have an arena. They'll do all of those things. And it ideally happens in an area that's a little bit more central than some of the other stuff. Tempe is central. And that was one of the cool things about it. It was just cool to see. It was really cool to see the Coyote logo next to the Sun Devil logo on the same ice.
That was
And
neat. Yeah.
ASU.
And I'm not even a fan, and it was neat.
And so ASU, just a little bit of background, ASU was a club hockey team for a number of years. They played in an arena where I played pickup hockey a couple of times over at Oceanside, and that was where those games were. Then the Mullet family, it's a plumbing family, I think in Minnesota, donated a lot of money to help build that arena, and the arena is absolutely amazing. It's a great experience to go in.
It's a nice venue.
And unfortunately, we never got to the point to see a playoff game in that arena. And if there was a playoff game in that arena, I don't know how another team comes in and wins with the home ice advantage that you would have in
that small of a place. It would have been amazing.
It would have been cool, but we didn't get it. So Utah, you suck for taking the team away. Your team name sucks.
You're blaming a whole state.
I don't care about all the other colorful things and creative things that went into it. Whatever. Anybody else have anything to end on beyond that?
I don't think I could do that.
That's a mic drop, quite literally and figuratively.
There we go. So if you know somebody who would enjoy this, please share it with them. Share your picks. We'd love to hear them. The shares help. Let Constantine and Jacquelyn and I know, either via LinkedIn or whatever place that you hear, that you see that this went and happened. Please let us know about it. Sales is a thinking process. Business is a thinking process. Life is a thinking process. How are you thinking different about yours?